गुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवां च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगना रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साधुवेतं सावधूतं परिजनाश्रयितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादां सहगना ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितं च नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामीति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादे पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नामने गौरवस्य नमः। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांता श्रीराधा कांता नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी श्रीराधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Yes, Hare Krishna. We were reading this chapter number 15. Yeah, so just I'll revise what we have read yesterday. In sloka number 1 to 6, we saw that how this material world is a reflection of the spiritual world, and which is upside down tree. And how one can get rid of this tree? The only way is that uh, asanga sastrena dradena chitva. By determination, one should cut this tree and go to the spiritual world. And then further we saw that what is that process then? That's if one surrenders to Krishna, then it becomes one can go to the spiritual world. But what is the process of surrendering? So that was a nirvana moha jita sanga dosa. And so that 15.5 sloka we saw, where it comes that the first qualification is required that one should become free from the pride, and then one should be free from all kind of a desire to enjoy, and one should be free from the illusion, one should be free from the faulty association. And then after that, the description of the spiritual world has been given in 15.6. And then further, then Krishna says that Jivatma, you know, who is a mam amsa, who is my amsa means is my part and parcel, and which belongs to spiritual world, who is a sanatana, who is eternal, but is getting entangled here in this material world. Why? Because manasashtani indriyani prakatistani. He suffers an struggle in this material world due to mind and senses. And then we saw further that how then transmigration takes place. And when the jivatma transfer from one body to another body, then what happens that uh, is the he carries the particular conception or the desires from one body to another body. The desires keep on transferring from one body to another body. And, and that's how he get a particular body in the next life, and in that body he get particular sense, has the particular senses, and he tries to enjoy uh, this sign through these senses. And then finally we saw that this transmigration can be seen by one who is having jnana chaksu. And the one who is having the jnana chaksu, he can see this transmigration of the soul. But one who is not having the vimuda, and the one who thinks that I am the enjoyer, and or the vimudatma, and unintelligent person, he cannot see that, that how the transmigration is taking place. He's because his intelligence is or his consciousness is misdirected, achetasa. Now today we are going to see further that okay, somebody is having the jnana chaksu, then he can see the how things are taking place, how transmigration of the soul is taking place. And, but what about those people who are not on the level of a jnana chaksu? What about them? How they can? Those are very much on material platform. How they can make advancement in Krishna consciousness, or they can come to the jnana chaksu level. Then so Krishna is telling from 12 to 15 that how even a normal person, although he is not on the level of any Jnana Chaksu, but how he can also become Krishna conscious or he can uh, advance. And, so that's what he is telling. The Krishna is telling from 12 to 15 this. So he's the first in Shloka number 12, he is going to talk about on the universal level and that how one can see the Lord. And in day-to-day life, in universal level, that how one can perceive the Lord. And so that has, and this the same 12 to 15 has been also given in the chapter number 7 also in Bhagavad Gita. How we can perceive the Lord through his energies. To here, Yad Aditya Gatam Tejo Jagat Bhasyam Akilam Yad Chadram Si Yad Chagno Tat Tejo Vidimamakam. Yes, someone can read the translation.
The splendor of the sun, which dissipates the darkness of this whole world, comes from me, and the splendor of the moon and the splendor of the fire are also from me.
Hmm. The almost like same shloka is there in the seventh chapter. Somebody can tell which is the shloka?
रसोऽहम् अप्सुपन्त्यप्रवास्मि शशिशूरेण
Uh, Pranav sir. So there also Krishna says, that the light of the sun and moon comes from the me. Here also again Krishna is telling that the splendor of the sun, splendor of the moon, that is coming from me. The splendor of the fire also comes from me. Like see the previous sloka 15.6 also if you see, what is the 15.6? When Krishna describes about the spiritual world.
Ashita Surya Nasa Sankala Pal.
How does it begin?
Nagad Bhashita Surya.
न तद भाष्यते सूर्यो न शशांको न पावक यद गत्वा न निवर्तन्ते तद्धाम. So there Krishna is telling that in the spiritual world there is a no need of a sun, no need of a moon, no need of a fire. Because the spiritual world is self-luminous. Now these three things, the sun, moon and fire has been in the material world it is required. Because material world is not self-luminous. Material world is full of darkness. है So that's why these three things Krishna is telling. Then in the spiritual world, there is they are the self-luminous, so they are uh, not required. And, they don't give the light to the spiritual world. In the spiritual world, they are the self-luminous, but in the material world, the sun, moon, and the fire and are there. So like somebody may say, okay, sun is giving a light, and how sun is giving the light? So somebody may talk about the nuclear fusion, fission reactions, and all that, and but it is that is the cause. No, who started the nuclear fusion reaction? And so that is the what the scientist gives the understanding, and that is a just partial explanation because who put the sun there? That is another question. Beyond the arrangement, there is arranger. And this goes to the there is a arranger. There is a person who put the sun there, who started the whatever the reaction. And so, uh, so we need to understand that Lord has created this sun and moon, and one is able to see the see as soon as one sees the sun. Oh, and so how the sun has come, from where the how the sun has come, the why the sun is there, why the moon is there. So these all questions a normal person can also a human being can think, but a person like animalistic person or the animal cannot think about it. Human has been given this intelligence by the God, where he can think why. Is it not why this is there, why that is there? But the animal cannot think. Animal thinks about what? Just the basic things of his sense gratification, eating, sleeping, meeting, and depending. The human can think about. Yes, the here purpose writes in the purport, the unintelligent cannot understand how things are taking place. But one can begin to establish in the knowledge by understanding the Lord explains here. And if start understand, somebody starts seeing the word in this way, and why this is there, why sun is there, why moon is there, and why the this place is there, getting when we start questioning that, then the human intelligent person will start questioning that. And in such a conception of life, the beginning of Krishna consciousness lies a great deal of advancement for the conditioned soul in the material world. You know? Like I remember that when I was at the age of 8 or 9, so that time I used to ask one question to my father, and that how is it the Earth? Because we used to read in this geography, na, that Earth is in an orbit, it's moving. I used to ask how the Earth is remaining in orbit. Who put the Earth in the orbit? Why it is not falling? And if it falls, then where it will fall? And all these kind of questions I would ask. My father would get completely frustrated. Then he would, because he was also a teacher, he would send me to the geography teacher. You go and ask him. And when I used to ask him, he would also not able to give the answer. But when we came in contact with devotees, like read Bhagavad Gita, then I saw, oh, answer is here. This, and, so we can see, and then this is these all questions when somebody start asking, and why this is there, why life is there, and what will happen after that. So this all inquiries the human beings can do it. A little bit intelligent person also he will start thinking about the life. And so by that one can uh, come to the understanding of Krishna consciousness over a period of time. And yes, someone can read this. Therefore, sunrise, fire.
Therefore, sunrise, fire, and moonlight are so pleasing to the living entities. Without their help, no living entity can live. So, if one can understand that the light and the splendor of the sun, moon, and the fire are emanating from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, then one's Krishna consciousness will begin. By the moonshine, all the vegetables are nourished. The moonshine is so pleasing that people can easily understand that they are living by the mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. Without His mercy, there cannot be sun. Without His mercy, there cannot be moon. And without His mercy, there cannot be fire. And without the help of the sun, moon, and fire, no one can live. These are some thoughts to provoke Krishna consciousness in the conditioned soul.
Ah, so we need to say this is the mercy of Krishna, the sunlight. And we don't value, like we say, we don't value the sunlight until there is a deficiency of vitamin D. As soon as when there is a deficiency of vitamin D, all devotees, even devotees will go to the rooftop and they start sitting every day in sunlight. And so here, so we need to say this is the mercy of Krishna. And the fire is the mercy of Krishna. Like The value of fires we don't understand in the summer, but as soon as the winter comes, then we need fire. Now Krishna is talking about on the earthly earthly level, and that how his mercy is there. One can perceive him. गामावस्य च भूतानि धारयामि अहम् ओजसा उष्णामि चौषधि सर्वा सोमो भूत्वा रसात्मकः है ना तो yes somebody can read the translation.
I enter into each planet, and by my energy, they stay in orbit. I become the moon and thereby supply the juice of life to all vegetables. Highlighted part, Pruji.
Ah,
It is said there that one plenary portion of the Supreme Personality of Godhead Paramatma enters into the planets, the universe, the living entity, and even into the atom. So, due to his entrance, everything is appropriately manifested. When the spirit soul is there, a living man can float on the water. But when the living spark is out of the body and the body is dead, the body sinks. Of course, when it is decomposed, it floats just like straw and other things. But as soon as the man is dead, he at once sinks in the water. Similarly, all these planets are floating in space, and this is due to entrance of the supreme energy of Supreme Personality of Godhead. His energy is sustaining each planet, just like a handful of dust. If someone holds a handful of dust, there is no possibility of the dust falling. But if one throws it in the air, it will fall down. Similarly, these planets, which are floating in the air, are actually held in the fist of the universal form of the Supreme Lord. By his strength and energy, all moving and non moving things stay in their place.
so here Krishna says Gama Avisya. Gama means planets, Avisya means entering. Cha Bhutani. In all the planets I enter, and in all the living beings. And that's how what is happening. Dhariyami हम Ojasa. And Dhariyami means what? I am sustaining them. I am holding them. Like dust you take, you hold it, they will remain it together. All the but as soon as you leave it, all the dust particles will move. It will be scattered. Uh, so who is holding? The Krishna is holding, and that's how they this is together. The moving in a particular orbit. And, and also Krishna, I enter into each planet. That's how they are in particular orbit, and they are that is moving. My energy they stay in orbit, and I become the moon, and thereby supply the juice of life to all the vegetables. No. Like you find the any seed is there, you put the seed. The seed there is no fragrance is there. In the seed there is no juice is there. Anna. But the how juice comes in all the from that seed the plant come and then the fruits are there and all then juice comes in those fruits. The juice is comes from the moonlight. Yeah. So Krishna's so wonderful arrangement is there. The moonlight is falling, and due to that, there is a juice of life to all the vegetables. Uh, Or it is not like same kind of a juice is there in all the fruits. The different kind of juice is there in different fruits. That's how there is a pineapple juice, then there is a pomegranate juice. All these juices are different. But the moonlight is same. The same moonlight is falling on the different vegetables or different plants. Then there is a different kind of juices. This wonderful arrangement of the Lord. And,
Hare Krishna Puri.
huh,
You see, here it's written like the means in the universal form of the Lord, like they are resting on the universal form of the Lord. This universal form of the Lord is holding this. But to the like we consider like although it's Krishna's energy only, but universal form of Lord is imaginary now. Priti. Like yogis, they like this is the facility. Universal form of Lord is the facilities so that yogis they can meditate. So Prabhuji, it's not real. So why like Prabhupada is mentioning it like universal form of the Lord?
Good question. Similarly, these planets which are floating in the air are actually held in the fist of the universal form of the Supreme Lord. So what I am able to understand here, like just like you, Prabhupada is comparing, like you hold the dust in your hand, same way Lord is holding the whole earth and through his energy.
Basically, Prabhupada has picturized the two.
Uh, that's what I am able to see and not heard any explanation. है ना? Yes, now the next. So now Krishna is telling about on our bodily level how we can see the uh, on our body like on the sloka number 12 we saw the on the universal level how we can see the uh, we can see the Lord and through his energies on the now then later on now on the earthly level now on the bodily level and how we can see the Lord through his energy how his energies are functioning. So here we can see Aham ve visvasnaro bhutva praninam dehamashrita pranapana samayukta panchamyanam chaturvidam. Yes, someone can read.
I am the fire of digestion in the bodies of all living entities, and I join with the air of life, outgoing and incoming, and to digest the four kinds of foodstuff.
Yes. So now Krishna is telling that if you see your own bodily system, the fire of digestion is there, and without fire of digestion, we cannot digest the food. And Jataragni is there. And Krishna is telling that I am that fire of digestion. And this every day we can experience. And sometimes digestion is good, sometimes digestion is not good. There's a fire of digestion is very good. And or sometimes you find that and there is a devotees get to know there is a feast in afternoon. Then many times the devotee don't take breakfast. Then so that their fire of digestion can increase. But actually, one need to understand that fire of digestion is coming from that is Krishna. That so if somebody may even the many of the scientists they wanted to make artificial digestion machine, and but they got to know that whole system is so complex, and that if they have to make this digestive system, artificial digestive system, so they have to make uh, what we say the chain of factory, and not only one factory is required, but chain of many factories are required to digest to make the same arrangement artificially. The Lord has made the whole arrangement so in a very small system here, and it's so amazing to see that. But there is a no artificial digestive system is there, because it is very complex process. Uh, Then and Krishna is also telling that I joined with the air of fire outgoing and incoming and to digest the uh, four kind of food stuff. Prabhupada is writing, therefore, since he is helping the digestion of all kind of food stuff, the living entity is not independent in eating process. Unless the Supreme Lord help him digesting, there is no possibility of eating. He does produce and digest food stuff, and by his grace, we are enjoying life. Even living entities' enjoyment is there due to Krishna's mercy. The one is enjoying rasgulla and gulab jamuns, malpua, and custard, and all that. That is, we also need to see that is because of mercy of Krishna. And so like that, one should say. The Lord is situated within the sound, within the body, within the air, within the stomach as the digestive force. So we need to understand that how Lord is the sustainer, Lord is the maintainer, and He is functioning all the bodily things, and either for our survival or for our enjoyment. So whatever things are there taking place, that is the Lord's mercy only. It means what, seeing these slokas, we need to understand that all the things which are either to be body or it to be on the universal level, and this all our mercy of Krishna is there. Otherwise, we cannot live the life only. We cannot sustain. And so our whole sustenance, even our enjoyment, depend on the Lord. Now this is the on the spiritual level, and now Krishna is telling that how he wants the living entities to understand this knowledge properly, and then a living entity should get liberated. And so then Krishna, what Krishna does, he gives the knowledge, and so that a living entity don't forget him, can remember him, and can go to the spiritual world. And for that, this is the next sloka Krishna is speaking. सर्वस्य चाहं हृदि सन्निविष्टो मत्तस्मृता ज्ञानमपोहनं च वेदेश सर्वैरहमेव वेद्यो वेदान्तकृतवेदेव चाहम्. Yes, someone can read the translation.
I am the seated in everyone's heart, and from me come remembrance, knowledge, and forgetfulness. By all the Vedas, I am to be known. Indeed, I am the compiler of Vedanta, and I am the knower of the Vedas.
So see, this is the first line is that what is there? That Krishna internally helping Jiva and how he can become liberated. Now just remember this statement, will give explanation also. And the second is what, how externally Krishna is helping a jiva to go get liberated and go to spiritual world. And, so remember this. Now there will be, we'll have good discussion about it. Yes, someone can read this. Just I'll just come in 2 minutes. So some devotee can read this highlighted one. Yes.
The Supreme Lord is so full that for the deliverance of the conditioned soul is the supplier and digester of the foodstuff, the witness of his activity, and the giver of knowledge in the form of Vedas. And as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, the teacher of Bhagavad Gita, he is worshipable by the conditioned soul. Thus, God is all good. God is all merciful. Antah pravista sasta jnanam. The living entity forgets as soon as he quits his present body, but he begins his work again, initiated by the Supreme Lord. Although he forgets, the Lord gives him the intelligence to renew his work where he ended his last life. The ultimate goal is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Vedanta Sutra 1.1.4 confirm this in the following words. Tattu Samanvayat. One can attain perfection in 3 stages. By understanding Vedic literature, one can understand his relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. By performing the different processes, one can approach him. And at the end, one can attain the supreme goal, who is no other than the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In this verse, the purpose of the Vedas, the understanding of the Vedas, and the goal of the Vedas are clearly defined.
Yes. So the Supreme Lord is so full that for the deliverance of the conditioned soul, he is supplier, digester of foodstuff, and witness of the activity and giver of the knowledge in the form of Vedas. Anna. Actually, Lord, we can see that Lord is giving this knowledge, and his whole purpose is what he wants us to get delivered from this world to that world. Anna. And for that, we see that here three things has been spoken. Sarvasya chaham, pradishanna vishnu, matta smriti jnanam, apohanam cha. So, Jnanam. So Krishna is Krishna gives the knowledge. But how Krishna gives the knowledge? And through Guru Sadhu Shastra. And so, but Krishna is present inside all of us as a super soul, as a Paramatma. He is as a Chaitya Guru. Is there. And externally, Krishna is giving knowledge through Siksha Guru and Diksha Guru. But why Krishna is giving knowledge? So that we come more closer to Krishna. Our attraction for Krishna increases. Dharma swanishtita pumsam visvaksena katasuya na utpadate yadi ratim sram eva hi kevalam. So if our attraction for Krishna is not increasing, then that is a waste of time. So whatever dharma we do, if our attraction is not increasing, that is a waste of time. So now, so Krishna is giving this knowledge. Now, after giving this knowledge to the Jivatma, now accordingly desire of a Jiva, Krishna gives forgetfulness and remembrance. After giving the knowledge from Guru Sadhu Shastra, also abhi Jivatma ka desire hai that I want to enjoy separately from, I don't want to surrender to you, I don't want to serve you. Then Krishna gives a forgetfulness. He gives the forgetfulness of remembrance of Krishna. And he gives remembrance of Maya. So what happened? The Jiva, like even so that's but if we have a desire to serve Krishna, by hearing the knowledge, then what happened? Krishna gives the remembrance. Even remembrance of Krishna is possible by the mercy of Krishna when the Jiva has a proper desire. So, so Krishna gives the forgetfulness. So my forgetfulness of Krishna is also due to him. And somebody may say, I'm Krishna is giving forgetfulness. I'm forgetting Krishna means what? This is due to Krishna only. No, it is because we have a desire to forget Krishna. That's why Krishna is giving. So Krishna is a responsible, but we are responsible. It means we are deciding, and according to desire, he thanks me. Like for example, in our life, there's some temptation come, or some, and at that time, some we start entertaining some desire. So now I want to enjoy or I want to fulfill the desire. Then what happens? Krishna gives forgetfulness. है ना? तो entertain का मतलब क्या होता है? Enter plus retain. वो आप डिजायर एंटर किया फिर हमने उसको रिटेन कर लिया मीन्स कंटेम्पलेट किया है ना देन व्हाट हैपन दैट डिजायर विल होल्ड our consciousness है ना then it will bewilder us है ना then what is the solution that any time when the temptation is coming and some particular desire is entering into so at that time all the temptation is there but still we desire to love Krishna and serve Krishna still we keep that desire secondary our first priority we keep as a serving Krishna loving Krishna then Krishna become very happy and Krishna gives more stronger remembrance of him and, and Krishna will give more forgetfulness of our material desire and, but, and that's how the pure devotees they are like that and pure devotees like the even the desire of some temptation may come but still what happen the remembrance of Krishna is so strong, or the desire to remember Krishna, love and serve Krishna is so strong that Krishna gives them more remembrance of himself. Right? And that's how, and at that level, then person feels the compassion for the those people who are engaged into sense gratification. That's how we see the Prahlad Maharaj prayers. Nevo duje paradurutya vaitanya. Tadviregayanmamritamagna So now he is telling that I am always remembering you, my Lord. I do not have any fear. But I am concerned about those people who are Vimukha Cheta Indriyas and who are away from you, who are not remembering you. But we need to understand that, okay, there is certain desires is coming which may take away from Krishna, but at that time also we don't go for those desires, but rather we keep our priority as loving and serving Krishna, then Krishna will give remembrance of himself. Krishna will give stronger remembrance. And if one is serious in practice of Krishna consciousness, Krishna will give forgetfulness of Maya and give more and more remembrance of his Nama, Rupa, Guna, Lila. So we should become desirous of Krishna. We should not become desirous of our desire. It means what? We should not become desirous of our so-called desires or sense gratificatory desires. And another very important, sometimes the question may come, it probably is become very difficult when the temptation comes and to remember Krishna. Then what to do? So it is that more you sweat in peace, less we bleed in war. And it means what? When there is a good time is going on, so that time we should make our full efforts to remember more Krishna. And then the temptation will comes, then Krishna will give us protection. Uh, And also, what should be our desire? Nana? So we should take it. We should be determined to end off our forgetfulness of Krishna. And until unless we are determined, Nana, that okay, I want to now remember Krishna, and at all the times, and I should not forget Krishna. That's what the one of the essential principle is what? Always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna. And so it may happen that we may get distracted here and there sometime. But again, we should give feedback to ourselves and immediately come to remembering Krishna. Like flight is going, and and the flight has been given the regular feedback, and that's how the flight remains on the track. The same way, the regular feedback has to be given. How much I am becoming Krishna conscious. Oh, I got distracted. Let me, and again come to the right principles, following the right principles. And, and so if we since regularly giving feedback or regularly sincerely trying, then what will happen? Will Krishna will give the forgetfulness of sense gratification, which we have tasted so much before, and he will give remembrance. So how many of you have this experience that there was some of the uh, desires or what we say, some of the things you liked very much before, but now you don't even want to look at them. Is there something in your life कि कृष्णा कॉन्शियस में आने से पहले है ना you like those things very much, but now you not at all want to see at them? Yes, nobody is there. Okay. Yes, the most of us actually every one of our life it is there. And somebody might be liking IPL match very much, but now no more IPL match. Somebody might be liking the eating the different varieties in restaurants. Now we don't want to look at the restaurant. Somebody might be liking those things which is going in train we see now. Then vada pav, eating different kind of things. But now we not at all looking at them. And it means what? So we that must we could forget we forgot those sense gratification. We now don't want to test them. And this for who has given this forgetfulness of that taste we have tasted before? that sense gratification which we have tested before. The Krishna has given the forgetfulness. So now somebody may ask, Prabhuji, but still some desires are there, some things are there which we want to do. To keep on practicing Krishna consciousness, we'll forget these all sense gratification also. And, and then remembrance of Krishna will become intense. And, and this is the first line. Then second line, Krishna is coming in the form of a knowledge, means what is coming in the form of Vedas. The purpose of Vedas is I am to be known. And Krishna is telling purpose of Vedas, goal of Veda, and compiler of the Veda. So is the compiler of Krishna. I am the compiler of all the Vedas. So why Vedas he has made? The purpose of Vedas is that so the Jiva get the knowledge and get liberated. So Krishna is telling internally I am giving forgetfulness and remembrance so that living entity, if he desire for me, then he'll get liberated. Externally I am giving the knowledge of Vedas so that if he reads the Vedas, then he will get liberated. And so Krishna is helping internally and externally both sides. And why? Because Krishna is more eager to liberate us. And Krishna is striving to liberate us. That is the great mercy of Krishna. And because Krishna wants us to go to the spiritual world, be with him. Now further, the essence of Vedanta in three sloka. And what is the essence of all the Vedanta, which is given by Krishna in the three slokas? द्वाविमो पुरुषो लोके चराक्षर एव च चर सर्वाणि भूतानि कुटस्थो अक्षर उच्यते. So there are two kind of living classes of living beings are there. One fallible, another is infallible. Dvavimo purusho loke. So two kind of purusha. One is chara, another is akshara. So chara is sarvani bhutani. So in the material world, all the living entities they are chara. That means they are fallible. And in spiritual world, every living entity is infallible. So this is the first sloka. Which this is also this three sloka is called three sloki Gitas. Yes, someone can read this living entities who are struggling in the material world.
The living entities who are struggling in this world with the mind and five senses have their material bodies, which are changing. As long as the living entity is conditioned, his body changes due to contact with matter. Matter is changing, so the living entity appears to be changing. But in the spiritual world, the body is not made of matter, therefore there is no change. In the material world, the living entity undergoes six changes: birth, growth, evolution, reproduction, and then dwindling and vanishing. These are the changes of the material body, but in the spiritual world, the body does not change. There is no old age, there is no birth, there is no death. They all exist in oneness. Shara Sarvani Bhutani, any living entity who has come in contact with matter, beginning from the first created being, Brahma, down to a small ant, is changing its body. Therefore, they are all variable. In the spiritual world, however, they are always liberated in oneness.
So this is the first sloka which talks about the living entities. The living entity, they are changing in the material world, but in the spiritual world, they have the spiritual body. So there's those six changes are not there. Now, about the living entities, about the liberated soul also. There is a called fallible soul, there is a called infallible. All fallible means liberated. So who is the about the liberated soul has been explained into next sloka. Uttam purushastvanya paramatmete udahita yot lokatriyamavisya vibhartya E.A.S.Y. Yes, someone can read.
Beside these two, there is a greatest living personality, the Supreme Soul. The purport is that among all the living entities, both
No.
condition.
You read the translation, full translation.
Okay. Yes. Beside this too, there is a greatest living personality, the Supreme Soul, the imperishable Lord it's Himself, who has entered the three worlds and is maintaining them.
Uh, so beside these two, who? The fallible and infallible souls, there is the greatest living entity. So that's why the word is used here. Purusa, Uttama Purusa. है ना? That Purusa is Uttama. In previous sloka, there were Dvimo Purusho Loke. They are the Purusha, but fallible and infallible. But then higher than them is Uttama Purush. And Uttam Purush is the Supreme Lord. So Prabhupada is saying that the purport is that among all living entities, the both conditioned living, there is a one supreme living personality, the supreme personality of Godhead, who is maintaining them, give them all facility of enjoyment according to different work. है ना? And he is situated in everyone's heart as a Paramatma. तो यहाँ पे वो पुरुष के बारे में क्या बताया गया? That पुरुष is a super soul, is going to the level, is now, है ना? So Krishna is telling that that Purusha is what the above the two living beings. This the fallible and infallible. There is a super soul. है ना? So here you find that Krishna is telling, Krishna is acting as a third person. So many places in Bhagavad Gita you'll find that Krishna acts like a third person, and you surrender to that supreme super soul. You surrender to that Lord. है ना? So, but ultimately here you will find who is the super soul. In the next sloka only he is going to tell, है ना? That I am that one. I am that Purusha. है ना? So that also signifies that super soul and Krishna is the same. Like, so in the you'll find that Krishna is telling in the 13th sloka, Gama Vasya Cha Bhuta. Means Krishna is in 13th sloka, he told that he enters into all the planets. And here he is telling that as a super soul enters into all the planets. है ना? Like here he is telling that as a super soul, he is entering everywhere. And in the sloka number 13, what he told? That he enters into all the planets. It means what? He and super soul are the same. And so we see that in the first sloka, means sloka number 16, Supreme Lord, the Krishna is telling that Supreme Being is different from even liberated souls. And, and then in the second is telling that liberated soul is not all pervading, but the super soul is. So this is the another quality that those two living beings, fallible and infallible, they are not all pervading. But the Supreme, the Uttama Purusa is all pervading. Now Krishna is going to tell that who is that Uttama Purusha? I am that Uttama Purusha. And Yasmacharam atitoam aksharad apichottama atosmi loke vede cha prathita purushottama. Yes, someone can read.
Because I am transcendental beyond both the fallible and the infallible, and because I am the greatest, I am celebrated both in the world and in the Vedas as that supreme person.
Ah, so Krishna directly is telling that I am beyond the fallible and infallible. I am the greatest, and I am the actually that super soul. And I am celebrated both in this world in the Vedas as the supreme person, the Purushottama. है ना? That's why Krishna is telling the purpose of all the Vedas is what? I am to be known. है ना? So Prabhupada says that the difference is that the living entity, either in the conditional state or in the liberated state, cannot surpass in quantity the inconceivable potency of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It is incorrect to think of Supreme Lord and living entity as being on the same level or equal in all respects. So here directly Krishna is defeating Mayavada. Mayavad philosophy says that Jiva and the Lord is same. But Krishna is telling that I am beyond the fallible and infallible. है ना? You know that which was the sloka in the 13th chapter where Krishna says that I resides in everyone's heart. As a super soul, I am transcendental. I am not equal to the soul. I am transcendental. So if you see 13.23 sloka, so there you will find that Upadrishtanumanta Bharta Bhokta Maheswaram. At the last, Krishna says, Para Purusa. Krishna is telling, I am that transcendental Purusha. I am transcendental uh, or beyond to the Jiva. Here also Krishna is telling, I am transcendental beyond the fallible and infallible living entities. So we cannot compare. Many of the Mayavadis impersonally they say that Atma Paramatma सब बराबर है, एक ही है ना? So now he gave the understanding of the three sloka, the what one should coming to the understanding, what should be the conclusion. So this is very important in sloka number 19 and then 20. So 19 Krishna is telling, Yo mameva sammudo janate purushottamam sa sarva vitvajati mam sarva bhavena bharata. Yes, someone can read.
Who knows me as the Supreme Person of Godhead without doubting is the knower of everything. He therefore engages himself in full devotional service to me, O son of Bharati.
So till now, Krishna established his supremacy. Is it not? First, he told there is a fallible, infallible. Then he told that as a super soul is above the fallible and infallible living entities. And then he told, I am that super soul, or I am that super soul, I am that Puruttama Purusha. And now he's telling that whoever knows me supreme as a supreme personality of God without doubt, then what he will do? Sarva with bhajati mam. Sarva with means what? That understanding that I am no uh, that without doubting and is the knower of everything. That is understanding that Lord is the knower of everything. He is Sarvagya. Then what will happen? He will engage into my full devotional service. It means what? That somebody really understood Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead. It means what? He will start engaging into devotional service full of his heart. And his devotion for Krishna will get intensified. And but somebody just we have how we can say that someone has not understood Krishna. Okay, he might have read the books, he might have read so many things, but he is not engaging into devotional service. It means he just he has not understood Krishna to be the supreme personality of God. And, and that's what Prabhupada talks about Gyanis. They read all Vedas, so many things, but they don't engage into devotional service. Uh, And then Prabhupada also talks about that somebody might be hearing so much, but then does not engage. He's really not understood it or not heard it properly. And then that hearing is useless. Uh, Yes, someone can read this highlighted one.
The imperfect knowers goes on simply speculating about the absolute truth, but the perfect knower, without wasting his valuable time, engages directly in the Krishna consciousness. The devotional service of the Supreme Lord throughout the whole of Bhagavad Gita, this fact is being stressed at every step. Vedic knowledge is called Shruti, learning by oral reception. One should actually receive the Vedic message from authorities like Krishna and his representatives. Here, Krishna distinguishes everything very nicely, and one should hear from this source. Simply to hear like the hawks is not sufficient. One must be able to understand from the authorities. It is not that one should simply speculate academically. One should submissively hear from Bhagavad Gita that these living entities are always subordinate to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Anyone who is able to understand this, according to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, knows the purpose of the Vedas. No one else knows the purpose of the Vedas.
Yes. Here Prabhupada is telling that Vedic knowledge is called Shruti, learning by oral reception. It means That submissively hearing from right authorities, and by that what will happen? The transformation of the heart should take place. And that is not happening, then it is like hearing like a hog. What Prabhupada is telling here. Get it? The hearing like a hog means what? And that is not able to discriminate. If we speak something to hog, then it does nothing goes inside. And, or Prabhupada want to say here, there is no transformation. You know? But somebody really heard the Vedic knowledge properly, then what will be there? Then he is telling that the word bhajati is very significant. In many places, the word bhajati is expressed in relationship with the service of the Supreme Lord. If a person is engaged in full Krishna consciousness in devotional service of the Lord, it is to be understood that he has understood all the Vedic knowledge. Like in here Lucknow, there is a one pujari is there. So this devotee is serving from last 20-25 years, the deities. And not for many years. So recently, what happened? He went to his home, and there was he's very old person, around 70, will be 65 or 70. So from the rooftop, he fell down, and due to that what was happened? There was a uh, he got big bone problem, you know, the injuries in the backbone. So then, and he was in the hospital for many months actually. But after that, uh, when he got cured, not completely, but whatever level where he was able to stand, walk, and all that. As soon as that happened, he came to a temple and told that I want to serve again. I want. Then devotees told, अरे आपको इतना बड़ा एक्सीडेंट हो गया और आप है ना कैसे कर पाएंगे भगवान की सेवा, बैकबोन में इतना प्रॉब्लम। तो बोले नहीं नहीं, मुझे करना है भगवान की सेवा, आप दीजिए, कुछ भी करूंगा, कुछ थोड़ा बहुत भी कर लूंगा, लेकिन करना चाहता हूँ मैं, आई वांट टू डू इट। So then he started serving the Lordship here again. And from many days, he's serving so wonderfully now again. So I was just reflecting upon it. See, because he has a sincere desire to serve the Lord has made him all right and then put him in the situation where he can serve the Lordship nicely. And so, although he has not read many books or the things and all that, but he has got this sincere desire to serve the Lord. Lord also want to take seva from him, and that's how what is doing is bringing him closer. So this is actually so why we are reading this. We are doing Bhakti Shastri and all this. The purpose of it that the finally our desire to serve Krishna should increase. You know, or we should our understanding about the Krishna is Supreme Lord, and if I serve him, then this is my benefit, and I'll go back to him. You know? So this should happen after reading the Shastra. And this is the same thing Krishna says, you know, in the 10.8 of Bhagavad Gita. Aham sarvasya prabhu, you know, aham sarvasya prabhu, matta sarvam pravartati matva bhajante ma buddha bhava samanvita. So there he says the Buddha bhava samanvita. You know. So one should worship the Lord with bhava. You know. But when uh, but that if somebody is reading the books, you know, but still that bhava is not coming, you know, so that means there is some issue. Knowledge does not lead to डिसोल्यूशन ऑफ द इमोशन, लेकिन मायावादी वो क्या करते हैं, वो वेद पढ़ने के बाद में उनका इमोशन जितना होता है वो भी खत्म हो जाता है। But at least actually somebody understood that Krishna is Supreme Lord and his intensification of emotion will happen. है ना? So all the emotion is concentrated on Krishna. है ना? So we need to understand that Krishna is like that ocean and we are like that. Our love for Krishna is like that river, and that river should flow toward that ocean. That's what the Kunti Maharani also prays. है ना? So let my attraction should be always be toward you. है ना? So that is the purpose of this. So that's why Prabhupada writes in the, I think, preface or introduction somewhere in Bhagavad Gita only, that before reading this Bhagavad Gita, one should understand Krishna is, at least theoretically, one should understand that Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead. Then only one can understand Bhagavad Gita. Okay, now this is the last sloka we'll do, and then now Krishna is telling, Iti guhyatamam sastram idam muktam maya naga etat buddha buddhimana syat kritascha bharata. So if somebody get this transcendental knowledge, है ना, which is the most confidential, iti guhyatamam sastram, है ना, this knowledge which I am given to you, oh Arjuna, it is the most confidential. है ना? Then idam uktam mayanaga, O sinless one, it is disclosed now by me to you. And whoever understands this will become the wise. Etat buddha buddhimanasya. One will become wise if one understands this. And kirta kirtayascha bharata. His endeavor will know perfection. Then his endeavor will be there to please the Lord, to serve the Lord, and that will lead him to the perfection. And so for and the so Prabhupada is writing that one will become intelligent and perfect in transcendental knowledge, and in all other words, by understanding this philosophy, supreme as of the supreme personality of Godhead and engaging in transcendental service, everyone can become freed from all contamination of modes of material nature. The devotional service is the process of spiritual understanding. Wherever devotional service exists, the material contamination cannot coexist. तो कृष्ण सूर्य सम माया होय अंधकार जहाँ कृष्ण ता नहीं माया अधिकार. The devotional service to the Lord and the Lord Himself are the one and the same because they are spiritual. तो कोई भगवान की सेवा में लगा हुआ अच्छे से, there cannot he cannot be in Maya. That's what. When one will be engaged into devotional service, when he is understanding the Krishna is Supreme Lord, is my Lord. And if I serve him, then that is my benefit. I know. But why one does not engage into service? Because of the weakness of heart, which Prabhupada explained. Why one does not engage into devotional service? Because of weakness of heart. What is the weakness of heart? The jiva separately want to enjoy. And jiva don't want to become cooperator of the God. He want to become competitor to the God. Because he separately want to enjoy. The fall down Prabhupada is telling, the first fall down is caused by desire to lord it over the material nature. And thus one gives up the devotional service of the Lord. Right? So there was one devotee who was given Pujari Seva in the temple initial days in some foreign temple. And this devotee was engaged in the service and but he got fed up with the Seva. Then he thought that okay, let me go back and enjoy the life. He went to the beach and there was then he started surfing in the ocean. And when he was surfing, and then he saw there was a one shark which was coming toward him. As soon as the shark was coming, he was praying, Narsimha Deva, please save me. Oh my Lord, please save me. And he started doing Narsimha Arti. And then he was praying to the Lord, oh my Lord, if you can save me from this death personified which is coming toward me, then I will immediately go back to temple and start serving you, my Lord. I will not go for surfing or any other thing. And now the shark fish, as soon as it comes just near to this devotee, and just take a U-turn and goes back. And this person, devotee, become very joyful. My God, Lord Narasimhadev has saved me. Immediately he threw away all the things for his surfing and goes to the temple and started serving the Lord. When Jiva has a separate desire to enjoy, then he puts himself into trouble. But uh, but when he serves the Lord, then he becomes joyful. But because this is the first thing, because he has desired to enjoy separately or lord it over the material nature, then due to that second weakness of heart is takes place. What is that? That increase the propensity of lord it over material nature, then become the attached to matter and possession of the matter. He become attached to things of this world. Then he cannot give up. You know? And the problem of material exists are due to this weakness of heart. The first is what? Desire to lord it over, and then when he start lording over, then he become attached. In this chapter, the first five verses describe the process of freeing oneself from weakness of heart. The rest of the chapter, from the sixth verse to the end, discuss पुरुषोत्तम योग. है ना? तो आप देखेंगे कि पहले 6 जो श्लोक है वो कटिंग के बारे में बहुत बोल रहे थे, डिटैचमेंट. But after 6 श्लोक है, he'll talk of bhajati mam. That means it means what talk about the devotional service to the Lord, the Purushottam Yoga. It means what Krishna is beginning with the detachment, but is ending with the what? Devotional service. Same way, 14th chapter, when began with the modes and all analytical study of the modes and all that, but he ended with the what? Bhakti. है ना? So, so finally, the conclusion is that we need to understand that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and we engage into his devotional service. Hare Krishna. So I'll end it here, and I think 13th I could serve in some way to all of you. And if any mistake happened till now, please forgive me, and also pray for me so that I can also uh, don't become just speculator, but rather this understand this knowledge and try to apply in my life. And only by the mercy of Vaishnavas it is possible. And another thing is that uh, if all of you would not be enthusiastic, there would not be these all discussions. And the srota is required before vakta. All of you are on time, others who is arranging, and then all of you are coming on the time and attending and asking many questions. Okay, so I hope I might be the uh, might have tortured you in 13, 14, 15 chapters by a lot of technical things and so many other things. And now all of you will have wonderful opportunity to hear from Nirmani Krishna Boom, and you will be getting the feast of hearing from Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, devotees. I would like to thank His Grace Yogesh Chand Puji for giving his association in the Bhakti Shastri classes from chapter 13 to 15. Actually, Puji is very much busy in his services in Lucknow temple, preaching in colleges and going Mayapur, traveling, Rath Yatra, and in all these services, Puji managed all these classes and gave his association to us. So I'd like to thank Puji by loudly chanting one time Hare Krishna mantra. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Krishna Krishna.
Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare.
Hare.
Thank you so much, Puji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you all. Hare Krishna. And others, for special thank to you
Thanks.
for changing the schedules many times. Hare Krishna.